Want to know exactly what your customers will pay a lot of money for? It's super critical to know this for long-term business success. And today I'm going to show you how to nail this every time. Ever feel like you're trying to sell a steak to a vegetarian? You're working your tail off, marketing like crazy, and still limited or no sales. Here's why your customers might not be biting, and how to fix it before your bank account dies from starvation. If you're an entrepreneur, I know there's one moment you always secretly fear. It's when you're talking to a potential customer and you think you nailed the pitch, and then they say, let me think about it. At that point, whether you're willing to admit it or not, you've blown it. And I know you're probably thinking, what the hell happened? Well, there's a couple of possibilities. They didn't see the value, they didn't feel the urgency, or worse, you offered them something they never even asked for. Hey, look, if you're at that stage of your business where it has to make some money fast, you don't have time to waste selling the wrong thing. So today, we're going to solve that. We're going to figure out how to know what your customers actually want, and more importantly, what they'll eagerly pay for. You ready to get this fixed? Hey, a real quick interruption. I'll zap you back in just a second. I wanted to let you in on something though that I think will 10x this video. It's called the Answer Zone, and it's totally free. The Answer Zone is where I'm live every week just to help you. All you have to do is show up and we'll talk, whether it's something sparked by this video or anything else you're working on in your business. No fluff, no pitch, and no cost. I put the registration link down below, and I think it just showed up on the screen as well. Register once and you're good to go, and I'll send you a reminder before each call. Sound good? Cool. And now, back to our regularly scheduled program. All right, now let's get into it. A few years back, I met a guy named Eric. We were at a business event. We were having a typical business conversation. He asked me what I do. I told him. I asked him what he did, and he told me he was a former commercial banker and that he wanted to escape the corporate grind. And he wanted to help small businesses thrive. All right, that all sounded cool to me. We finished our brief conversation, exchanged contact info, and went on our separate merry ways. 6 months later, he calls me, kind of out of the blue, and he's seriously frustrated. He goes on to tell me he spent 4 months building a course on business budgeting. He'd hired a designer, he'd paid a videographer, and he'd written a 10-part email sequence. He launched, and basically nothing happened. Does that sound familiar? Maybe just a little? Turns out, in 6 months, he'd made just 3 sales. 2 were to his friends, and the other one actually asked for a refund. He said, Del, I don't get it. I know small business owners suck at budgeting. I gave them everything they needed. Why aren't they buying? And I said, because they didn't ask for it. And therein lies the trap. When we build what we think they need, instead of figuring out what they already want, not so good things happen. And that's exactly why I created what I call the buyer's framework. It's a framework that helps entrepreneurs build businesses where people want to buy, instead of you having to constantly sell. Every letter in the buyers stands for a piece of the puzzle. B-U-Y-E-R-S. B, buyer clarity. Know exactly who your product's for. U, understand their wants. Why? Your solution, their words. Use their exact language when you describe what you do. E, engage to convert. Don't just show up once, follow up like a human. R, results. Results are the only things that matter. No one cares about features, they want outcomes. And S, systems. Build systems first, then teams. Scale without chaos. This video is really all about the U, understand their wants. Because if you skip that one, none of the rest of the model is going to work. Okay, so let's keep going. Here's the thing. People don't buy what they need. They buy what they want, what they already believe will help them. The difference sounds subtle, but it's not. If you're solving a problem they don't think they have, it doesn't matter how smart, ethical, or amazing you are. You're going to be invisible. Now, let's break this down a little further. I want to give you 4 hardcore truths. Number 1, you got to keep data on your buyers. Let me say this in plain English. If you don't know what your buyers are clicking, saying, buying, ignoring, opening, ghosting, or observing, or obsessing over, then you're not running a business. You're playing darts blindfolded. I'm not saying you need a CRM that costs more than your car. Hell, you might not even know what a CRM stands for at this point. It's Customer Relationship Management System, by the way. But if you've got no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry, because it's not a problem. Because all I'm saying is you need to track what matters. And you can start simple. Just keep track of things like, who are your best customers? What did they buy first? What emails did they open? What questions did they ask before actually saying yes? You can use a Google Sheet or an Excel spreadsheet, or even use pen and paper, if that's you. But track stuff. Because here's the thing nobody tells early stage entrepreneurs. Your memory will lie to you, but your data won't. Most of us are too busy working in our businesses to notice what's actually working on our businesses. But those little patterns, those are the information that you need for your next best offer. And when you combine actual buyer data with real buyer language, which I'm going to get into in just a minute, you're going to start to create offers that actually kind of sell themselves. Now you're starting to create a buyer's environment. And once you've got a little actual data, here's how most folks screw it up. They ignore it. They go right back to trust in their gut, their quote unquote expertise, that imaginary focus group that lives in their head that always agrees with them. Which brings us to the next truth, truth number 2. Your opinion is not data. I don't care how long you've been in your industry. I don't care what you just know. If it's not something your ideal customer has said in their own words, it ain't data.